Bookish friends. Today I want to talk about top 5 thrillers that I have read so far. Although we do not celebrate Halloween in Turkey, I just wanted to join in the fun and talk about thriller books, which is a genre that I enjoy very much, and I really like reading such books because they are fast-paced and I read them in a breath. And they are the perfect books for getting out of a slump actually. And I made my list. I realized that I read all of these books at least 2 years ago. I'm going to read the good synopsis of these books because I really can't remember the details of the books. I only remember what I felt about them. And I've decided that I need to read more thriller books to make great additions to this list. The fifth thriller book that I'm going to talk about is Defending Jacob by William Landay. The synopsis of the book says that Andy Barber has been an assistant district attorney in his suburban Massachusetts county for more than 20 years. He is respected in his community, tenacious in the courtroom, and happy at home with his wife, Lori, and son, Jacob. But when a shocking crime shatters their New England town, Andy is blindsided what happens next. His 14-year-old son is charged with the murder of a fellow student. This is a very good legal thriller with a very interesting plot twist actually. I remember reading it in a breath because I like legal thrillers very much actually. I liked how complex the characters were. I would advise this book to readers who likes a good twist and a fan of legal thrillers as well. The fourth thriller book on my list is The Stranger by Harlan Coben. The synopsis says that Adam Price has a lot to lose, a comfortable marriage to a beautiful woman, 2 wonderful sons, and all the trappings of the American dreams, a big house, a good job, a seemingly perfect life. Then he runs into the stranger. When he learns a devastating secret about his wife Karin, he confronts her, and the marriage of perfection disappears as if it never existed at all. Soon Adam finds himself tangled in something far darker than even Karin's deception, and realizes that if he doesn't make exactly the right moves, the conspiracy he stumbled into will not only ruin lives, it will end them. I remember going into this book with suspicion actually, because I had never heard of Harlan Coben before. But when I started reading the book, I felt like I always wanted to read the book because it was so fast-paced. I wanted to learn what would happen. I felt like I was also on the chase with the main character. The plot twist was not as shocking as the other books in this list, but for this book I liked the journey that we come through to get to that point very much. So that's why it takes the 4th place in my list. The third thriller that I'm going to talk about is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larson. This is the first book in the trilogy. Harriet Wenger, a son of one of Sweden's wealthiest families, disappeared over 40 years ago. All these years later, her aged uncle continues to seek the truth. He hires Michael Blomqvist, a crusading journalist recently trapped by a label conviction, to investigate. He is aided by the pierced and tattooed punk prodigy Lisbeth Salander. Together they tap into a vein of unfathomable iniquity and astonishing corruption. This book also had a very fast-paced tempo, a relatively surprising plot twist, and also a very good writing style. But additionally, this book had very strong character developments, and the characters were so well defined. Especially the character of Lisbeth was very interesting to read about. She was not very likable, but you cannot help admiring her while reading it. That's why this book is one of my 3 favorite thrillers that I've read. The second book in this list is Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. In this book, Libby Day was 7 when her mother and her 2 sisters were murdered in Satan's sacrifice of Kinnicky, Kansas. She survived and famously testified that her 15-year-old brother Ben was the killer. 25 years later, the Kill Club, a secret society obsessed with notorious crimes, locates Libby and pumps her for details. They hope to discover proof that may free Ben. Libby hopes to turn a profit of her tragic history. She'll reconnect with players from that night and report her findings to the club for a fee. As Libby's search takes her from shabby Missouri strip clubs to abandoned Oklahoma tourist towns, the unmanageable truth emerges, and Libby finds herself right back where she started, on the run from a killer. As you can guess from the synopsis, this book also has very interesting characters, and although the tempo is not as fast-paced as all the other books in this list, still it's a page-turner. But I was mostly impressed by especially the sections about the secret society, and also the familial relationships in this book was very dark and very twisty, and I loved it. There is also a very decent adaptation of this book, which I did from pages to screen video as well. So I know I'm not in the majority, but this is my favorite Gillian Flynn book. And the best thriller that I have read so far is Pretty Girls by Karin. 20 years ago, Claire Scott's eldest sister, Julia, went missing. No one knew where she went, no note, nobody. It was a mystery that was never solved, and it tore her family apart. Now another girl has disappeared, with chilling echoes of the past. And it seems that she might not be the only one. Claire is convinced Julia's disappearance is linked. But when she begins to learn the truth about her sister, she is confronted with a shocking discovery, and nothing ever will be the same. First of all, I want to give trigger warnings for everything possible for this book. This book is not very easy to read, like the previous 2 books in this list, but the story is so fascinating, and the villain of this book is so villainous. It actually took the first place in my top 5 list of villainous characters in literature. This book has a very shocking value, but the strongest point of the book is the writing style. I really enjoyed writing style of Karin. It just sucks you into the story so well. I felt so emotional and so affected by this book. But I never thought of DNFing it, although I felt disgusted by some of the scenes. So this showed how successful her writing style was. Because of this twisting effect on me as well, this book is my favorite thriller that I've read so far. So those were my top 5 thriller books that I've read. The books in the third, second, and first places are very dark books. I don't know what that says about me, but but although I like sweet books as well, I think I prefer my thrillers to have a darker side. So please comment down below. What is the best thriller that you have read so far? And if you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, since my favorite thriller book was Pretty Girls, I thought girl should be the word of the day. Girl means kız in Turkish, and kız is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.